Excuse me, everyone. Sex! Now that I have your attention.
You don't have our attention.
Money!
I'm listening.
You had me at sex.
Perfect.
You have all of our attention just by screaming anything.
That's good to know.
What do you want to say, Michael?
Woof!
Steve Carroll, what a voice. I bet that grabbed your attention. You may not have realized it, but in those 5 seconds, your sensory organs have organized and interpreted those sensations into something we call perceptions. Today we are going to explain what perceptions are and their implications for marketers with reference to Eitmer and Zoe's motives and guidance for the use of sensory marketing in retailing. Let's start with the basics from the lecture by going over some definitions. Firstly, a stimulus is an object or an event in the external environment that comes into contact with a person's sense organs, creating a sensation. Perception is the process by which these sensations are interpreted and organized. This process is of vital importance to marketers. So let's see how the 5 senses play a role in marketing as described by Eitmer and Zoe. Firstly, the 5 sensors include the eyes. These contain 3 types of cones: S cones, which relate to blue, M cones, which relate to green, and L cones, which relate to red, which work together to form colors and the image we see. Ears. The ears detect pressure waves and react based on the pitch and loudness of these waves. Olfactory, or smell. The olfactory system contains 10 million rods embedded in the epithelium, each of which respond to a different chemical. This is extremely important in marketing as the brain associates these chemicals to memories and emotions. Taste buds. The taste buds react to chemical compounds by dissolving them upon contact. Skin. Skin is the largest sensory organ of the body. It is used to sense temperature, pressure, and pain. The sensitivity varies throughout the body due to the amount of the brain devoted to the various parts of the body. Eitmer and Zoe describe that creating a pleasant environment where customers enjoy coming to the store plays a vital role in customer satisfaction. In a retail context, this is achieved by engaging customers in a full sensory marketing experience, which stimulates all 5 senses. A prime example of this can be seen in any Starbucks store. Let's take a moment and imagine we are walking into Starbucks. You are engulfed by the aroma of fresh coffee beans. You see the smile on the barista's face. You hear some pleasant music playing in the background. After ordering a coffee, you sink into one of the comfortable leather lounges and take a sip of your smooth latte. Without even knowing it, you have been subjected to the exposure stage of the perception process, and very deliberately, we might add. Starbucks has purposefully created this full sensory experience in keeping with the Gestalt principle of the whole being greater than the sum of its parts. Imagine drinking that same coffee at home. It just wouldn't taste as good, would it? Thus, Starbucks doesn't make coffees, it provides an experience. Eitmer and Zoe note the importance of building a sensory experience in a retail setting. Customer experience is the new means for differentiation. Now let's imagine we've almost finished our coffee. Over the last 15 minutes, without us even knowing it, our brains have been processing sensory information. This is the attention state. All of a sudden, you notice that today's food special is your favorite type of sandwich. This is an example of selective attention, perceptions that align with our own goals and needs. Let's take another look at how our goals affect our perception. Those of you who didn't see the gorilla walking through the middle experienced selective attention. But how can marketers break through this attention barrier and influence the goals of their consumers? The answer is by increasing stimulus salience. Salience is the likelihood of a stimulus being noticed. Eitmer and Zoe explore the case of French retailer Nature and Decovades, who utilized scent as their key salient stimulus. People passing by in the mall were first attracted to the scent. However, salience can take many forms. Take, for example, the anti-Trump ads that were circulated via Facebook that include a ridiculous number of celebrities. The creators of the campaign realized that celebrities held greater attention than a regular person, and this successfully broke through selective attention of those who were scrolling their newsfeed. As individuals develop, so does their ability to process complex stimuli. Age allows us to discriminate between senses in order to gather information, and this again impacts marketing decisions on both commercial and ethical levels. Ads targeting children offer high levels of sensory involvement, particularly through the use of bright colors and rhyming jingles that first break through a child's selective attention threshold, and secondly, help the child commit the ad to memory. We can see this being exemplified in the Reese's Buttercups ad. Good for children, but do you buy it? The ethical impacts of this type of marketing are very severe, and one only needs to look up the current obesity epidemic in American children to see this. Thus, marketers and firms need to be very aware of how sensory marketing strategies are having negative, long-lasting impacts affecting whole generations. Thanks for listening to our presentation.